Should have thought of this before I sat down.
Nailed it. Maybe we'll kill this tonight. If I had to pick a desert island cocktail, this is it. Some kind of bourbon and the peach flavored Izzy. Always drip on myself. Never fails. I don't know what episode we are on at all. 9. Okay, cool. Hi, and welcome to episode 9 of Get Lit and Knit. I'm Allie. I am one half of Get Lit and Knit on Instagram, Ravelry, Twitter, though we don't use it. I've tweeted exactly once. Ello, again, posted exactly once. But if you Google Get Lit and Knit across the internet, it's us. Today, as always, we've got a lot of ground to cover, but I'm going to try to go through stuff as quickly as possible because there's so much. And in a really, really ignorant move, I've started packing to move in about a month, and I packed up my last 2 FOs, so you've seen them on Instagram, but I'm just gonna put up pictures and talk about them. And part of moving, of course, is drinking down the bar, which is exactly what we're doing today. So I have 2 finished objects since the last time we sat down. We didn't talk about my projects on the bonus episode, or the episode I did with Abby, because, you know, she had a lot to update on and I wanted to save some of it for the vlog we did. So I finished my Honeybeams cowl by Devin of Francophone Knits. It was a really fun knit, really nice soft intro to one color brioche, and now I feel like I can tackle harder brioche designs like a big kid. And I made it with yarn from actually one of our Ravelry group members, Susan of With Pointed Sticks. She's the one who got me with the Ravelry banner ad at the bottom of our group. So I knitted the Honeybeams cowl in Neon Tiger. And it was some pretty intense yarn chicken. I just barely made it. I had enough for like 95% of one Hexy puff and then had to finish it in a similar color. So if you just follow Devin's written directions in the pattern and don't think too hard about it, it's really straightforward. I also finished my cameo shawl by Paulina P. or Paulina Populek on Ravelry. I knit that out of Hue Loco sock yarn in Stardust and Coltrane, and I could not be happier with how this thing turned out. It was really interesting, we'll talk about the knit along obviously, to see in the finished objects thread just how like really different everybody's was, and varying levels of contrast. Mine was really low contrast, and I wasn't sure how that was gonna work, but I ended up really liking it. If I knit it again, I might do it higher contrast, but I'm really happy with the finished product. And the thing is huge. Like, I wish I had gotten footage of this, because when I blocked it on my $20 Target yoga mat that is rarely used for yoga, it stretched like a solid foot off the end of the mat, and I had to pin it to a towel. So yeah, it's a really good size. It was a really fun knit, although it was a lot bigger than I expected, and that's a big part of the reason we had to extend the knit along. Like, for your sake, for Devin's sake, Abby's sake, and mine, like, nobody was finishing that thing in a month. Since we're on the subject, let's talk about the knit along. The Cameo Loco knit along closed today. I've picked all the winners. So let me be transparent about how I did this. So like I did for the last giveaway, I drew all of the winners with a random number generator, and then I also randomly generated what prize you won. I know some people don't want their Ravelry usernames like blasted on the internet, which I totally get, and it's, you know, it's not a super fun watch for everybody who didn't win. So I'm gonna ear burn you in the show notes on this episode. There are 9 winners total, and I think everybody gets a really cool prize. A lot of what we're giving away is patterns that I can just give you either the code to or just gift it to you on Ravelry. So message me regardless. I'll tell you what you won, and I will either send it to you directly or ship it to you as soon as possible. We've got really cool prizes that were listed on each thread from Sucre Miniatures and Hue Loco. Nicole very generously donated 2 skeins. I always describe it as very generously. There's no other way. That contribution just blew me away, and still does when I look at it. I'm having a little trouble giving it up. But we've got a good mix of stitch markers, project bags, mini skeins, and patterns. And it's just big thanks to everybody who participated. Hopefully you double dipped in Devin's group too to improve your odds. And especially since this was a small cow, like somehow miraculously nobody got drawn in both threads, which I kind of expected to happen. But each prize is going to a different viewer, which I'm really happy about. Are we ready? Because this is the official return of the fan favorite works in progress. Cross Stitch Kanye's back, y'all. Aw, yeah. The long and the short of it is that I somehow managed to lose my black embroidery thread, so I haven't finished his hair or his beard, which, you know, looks extra weird right now. Picked up the colors for the rest of it, so it's paint by number at this point. I have to fill in the rest of his face, and then there's some floral detail, and then I gotta frame this, so if anybody's got pointers on framing cross-stitch patterns, well, I could use it. I've actually never done it. Usually I would just, like, leave it in the hoop. For anybody who's new, this is the Kanye West cross-stitch pattern by Pen and String on Etsy. I think it's just called Kanye West PDF, but it was well worth the purchase. It makes me laugh every time I look at it, and I know Jill from Knitting Broomstick was like gonna be sad when I finished it, and so you've had like a solid month grace period because I have not touched this, and now I'm doing serious work on it. Last time I talked to you about the Doodler by Stephen West, I still had all of my stitches crammed onto entirely 2 short needles, upgraded to Chiaogus with a 40-inch cable, and it's still not gonna cut it. I'm ready to start wedge 2 of clue 4. And, oh, I'm showing you the wrong side, for God's sake. Let's try that again. So that's where I'm at. I'm convinced that I'm off by like 2 or 3 stitches. I'm done worrying about it. I just don't care. I'm like, figure I can hide some stuff with some creative blocking, and I just want the thing off the needles. I want it blocked because I want to see how big this thing is going to be. And I would like to wear this before I die. This yarn is a healthy combination of Araucania, some Old Stash, and some Sweet Georgia. It's a mini skein pack, Sea to Sky. Trying not to be a broken record for all of you who have sat through this shawl for the upteenth time. Getting some smaller stuff off the needles, and then this gets prioritized. Speaking of smaller stuff, this was featured in my vlog too, but this is a project bag by Annie of, let me make sure I don't screw this up, yeah, HKNT. I love this thing. I understand why people really like stiff interfacing, and I love that this guy is just stiff enough, like it stands up on its own, but I can cram this into my backpack, and that's like high priority. So in here, I'm working on a pair of French Vanilla Cappuccino socks by CC Allman. And if you remember my Amboise show, you might recognize these colors. This is the leftover Neighborhood Fiber Co. I had in Thomas Circle and Canton. I'm going to be honest, I don't remember which is which. They're both named after places in DC. But, so there's what's left for the contrasting heels and cuffs. We'll see how well that goes. And then I've got a pretty generous helping left for the foot and the leg. So I'm excited about these because they had she has really specific recommendations for fit. And I didn't know this was even a thing, but apparently this toe, if you have like a longer freaky second toe like I do, this is supposed to fit you a little better. So I haven't tried them on yet, but I'm excited. We'll see. And I took these with me. This was excellent, like public transit knitting on my way to my stepsister's wedding where I was a bridesmaid, and I'll put in little bits of that in the next vlog. YouTube, God's willing, that will go up next week. Molly, I swear to God, I did not forget to talk about your bag. So this is a really cute Adventure Time bag from Molly Klein Design, who also has a podcast, news to me. Even the lining is like perfect lumpy Space Princess color. The problem with this is that I have a lumpy Space Princess keychain, like a lanyard, so when these are both in my bag, it's a little challenging. There's a lot of Adventure Time in there. The little shout out I gave for Annie's bag is totally true of Molly's bag. It's the same thing. This one's actually slightly less, the sides, I don't think the sides have interfacing at all, but that doesn't like stop it from standing up by itself. This one is slightly easier for me to like crunch down in my bag, but I like them both equally, and they're getting equal mileage. You remember how I talked about how I wanted to knit the Hermione's Everyday Socks in All Hail the Glow Cloud by Brew City Yarns? I just have to hit the length on the foot, and then I can start the toes. This wasn't really my plan. I think I made Christmas socks. They look very Grinch to me. like the part where his heart grows 3 sizes. So the contrast is also Brew City Yarns Ruby Slippers. This is all superwash merino nylon 80/20, except this one, which is like 5% stellina. I've wanted the Hermione's Everyday Socks since I made them for Nicole, and they're happening. I managed to screw up, as I always do, on one of them. I don't know how. I ended up 2 stitches short, so I picked some up, and there's a little hole. Don't worry about it. Yeah, I'll just stitch it up. It'll be fine. Or not. I always wear, like, white ankle-length athletic socks, like just normal gym socks under these, mostly so I don't get them super sweaty and gross under my winter boots. So the hole may not even matter in the scheme of things. So I'm really close to the toe. I have plenty left, and I am looking forward to finishing these up, and we'll have my Box of Socks Cal socks for May. After all these episodes, are we still game for a Hexy Puff update? Because Lord, do I have one. I have, thanks to Shannon and her blanket blitz cal. I can't believe I didn't trip over that. Thanks to Shannon, I've officially hit over 150 puffs. I was originally shooting for 40 and I knit like 26 or something. Whatever it was, I counted, added it all up. I have 150 puffs. Now it's getting that much harder to not join them. But I'm so, like, picky about color management. I know I shouldn't. I know it's a bad idea. I still want to. So, get a little tour. Aw, yeah. If you dyed yarn that went into the cal or you gave it to me, you got tagged in a post with, like, 20 other people. So, sorry. I don't know. It was just really fun taking that picture and seeing, and this is the point of the sock blanket, right? To see... I had little pieces of different people in this thing, and that makes it that much better. And by swapping and buying, I have a much bigger variety and got to try stuff that I wouldn't normally, or play with stuff that I probably wouldn't ever wear. So, no, it was just a really good, accessible knit along, and got me thinking about ways that we could kind of devise a knit along for busy humans. Something low stakes and accessible and easy and affordable, ideally. So if you have ideas on that, hit me up, and, you know, if it doesn't exist yet, we might do it. I have a really hard time thinking of stuff that doesn't exist. Original ideas are hard. I'm gonna apologize in advance for showing this bag again because I know y'all want it. It was a Pearly Girl Knits bag, and I still don't know where my mom found it online, but that's what it is. If you want, like, the inside fabric, I know a lot of people make bags with this. Christine Kelly from House of Yarn immediately leaps to mind, but I know she's not the only one. So this is less of an acquisition and more of a confession, because it's my only one. Every other acquisition I've had, I've talked about in the last video and in the vlog, but Knitpicks had a ridiculous sale, and I have a cropped sweater I want to make, and so I bought a crap ton of Swish. I think I have 7 of these, so 770 yards. And this is going to be a cabled cropped sweater. Why am I blanking on the name? I'll put it on the screen. But that is going to be like my last big deal project for a while. I doubt I'll finish it before school starts because priority number 1 is clearing the needles. I picked the pattern because it's like, for me, fills a hole in my wardrobe. Like, it's the kind of thing that I could put over or with other things. And I'm going to take some of the decreases out because the pattern is like very vintage, which is cute, but not really what I'm going for. Wanted something a little boxier, a little more modern, maybe a little more drapey. So calculating gauge for this one's going to be interesting. So to wrap this up, I'll give you the little life updates first, and then kind of a bigger one that impacts you guys. Nothing earth-shattering, just a little change up. I'm wrapping up work, I'm doing some traveling, we're moving in like a month. It's exciting. We're gonna be moving closer to the loop, not sure where yet. We've got viewings Saturday, and then I start orientation mid-August. It gets coming up quick. I will be, want to make sure I get this out there now, I will be at Stitches Midwest, and I know a lot of us will be. And yo, Stitches, if you're listening, is there a podcaster meetup? Because I can't find one. And maybe that's not a thing y'all do, and that's cool, but might be fun. If nothing else, we could could set up something kind of informal. I know a lot of people are coming out for it, so it should be really fun. Okay, giant disclaimer before I start any of this. All the things that we're about to say have no bearing, comment, in no way relate to anybody else's content. This is just about us and where we're at and the kind of content we want to be able to produce. We need to have a little business meeting. Nothing serious. Think like Mad Men style 4 martini lunches and cigar breaks, because we have a little change coming up on our channel that mimics the changes in like my life and in Abby's life. Originally, the plan was to get together and record this. We had another video scheduled. That didn't quite work out. Adulting is hard. So I'm gonna let her talk first. She sent me a video today, and then I'll just explain how I see this from my angle.
Hello, internet friends. It's Abby. I'm coming here because today Allie and I have an announcement for you guys. We're doing a little cameo appearance from afar. I'm here in my study room for the day. So as you guys know, over the last couple of months, Allie and I have started this podcast, which you have come to love and we have come to love doing. In an ideal world, Allie and I could film together and we could knit all the time, all day long, and have tons of projects to show you guys. But unfortunately, that isn't a reality. So much is going to be changing next year in terms of where our time is, how we spend our time, how much time we have for knitting. You probably realize by how slowly my projects progress, I already have very little time. I think Allie and I would both agree that we're at very exciting and interesting and quickly changing points in our lives. And every day is going to be so different and fun, and we just have so much to share that we think that this avenue or this channel is going to be a really great, fun way to do that. And we hope that you're excited in terms of what we're going to be rolling out. We are thinking about kind of taking our channel in a new direction, not making any huge changes in terms of content or the character of our channel, but more taking it in a more creative direction so that we can share with you our everyday lives as well as our knitting projects and our creative adventures. We still love doing this, and that's why we're going to kind of be shifting a little bit and doing more of the vlog style. It'll be easy and fun and creative for us to film whatever we're doing without going out of our way too much, sharing with you what our everyday lives are like, as well as when we do get together, still filming together, and this way I will be able to be more involved. I think it's going to also be great in terms of what we can do without kind of being stuck to a format. Instead of just telling you about what we're doing, also be able to show you. We're really excited. We hope that you will support us in this and give us your feedback and be open to a little bit of change. We are so grateful that you guys are following us and that you love our podcast and have you guys as friends and followers and fans. We hope that you'll come with us on this new path that we're going to try to take and see where it goes. Thanks again. Thanks for letting me join, Allie, from afar. It's a little bit weird. I'm hoping that no one at school can hear me talking to myself. We'll see you soon. I've been working on my next vlog, so got lots of fun, exciting stuff to show you. Everything from knitting and school and my garden, and my mom was in town, so keep your eyes out. All right, bye.
So, in the grand scheme of things, nothing big is changing. I personally, and Abby, who's filming her own vlog now, had so much fun with that format. I feel like it's a format that reflects the platform we're on. We've felt that we got such a positive response from you guys, from other podcasters, from people who had never watched us before to the vlog that I put out. For me, they're really fun to produce. They work seamlessly into my life. Like, I am just living my day-to-day, and where cool things are happening and where I'm crafting, I can take you guys with me. I tried to keep the episodes shorter. out of respect for your time, because I understand there's so much content, and like, you could be watching me or you could be watching Game of Thrones. Like, I get it, time is finite. We're changing up the way we do things to make it more engaging, more fun, more sustainable for us, and to be able to diversify the content. I don't want to talk about specific projects. Been working very quietly on stuff in the background for, while I've been doing this too. The fact is that videos this long take a really long time to sit down and film and edit. These podcasts, especially the ones where Abby and I are in them together because we just like get distracted real easily, they take me like 5 or 6 hours to edit. It takes a long time. This is the most sustainable way for us to continue and to improve and expand on what we already do. I think ultimately you will get more of what you've been asking for, just not in the way you expected. And we will produce better content because we have more freedom, more time, and we're more excited about it. We're really grateful for who you've been as friends and as, like, I don't want to say an audience, but I don't know, it just seems weird. I'm just a human blathering into an iPhone. We made this decision with us and also with you in mind. Like I always say, we're open to feedback. If we're gonna have that discussion, let's not do it in the YouTube comments, let's do it in the show notes. Just remember that when you're leaving feedback, you can't read for tone in text. So far, we don't have tone fonts. That's still my $1 million idea. We wouldn't ask for it if we didn't genuinely want it, but sometimes, like, it can sting a little bit, or the sheer volume of the feedback we get can be kind of overwhelming. I don't need you to handle us with kid gloves, but remember, you're talking to real people with real feelings about something that, like, is a passion project for us, something we really care about doing. So that's it for us for this week. Be sure to watch for the show notes. If you get earburned, get in touch with me ASAP. I don't want to have to do the whole redraw thing, and I don't think you want me to have to do it either. Big thanks to Devin from Francophy Knits for co-hosting this knit along with us. It was really fun. It was a good first knit along experience. Hit like, subscribe, do all the things. You know what to do. Let us know what you think, but remember that I'm not made of stone. Expect more frequent uploads from us. Smaller, but more frequent. We'll see you in the next video. Bye. And that's it for us for this week. Damn the planes. This is what I get for leaving the window open. Okay, future editing me. You totally forgot a work in progress.
Start to take that part out. Warriors, they won last night. I don't want to say word changes again. Stuff, I don't know.